Hey guys, welcome to this video. Thank you so much for joining me. In today's video, I'm going to create a simple, soft, youthful fall makeup look. The whole idea of the makeup look is going to be to elongate this soft summer glow that we all have. We all got some sun during the summer months. So the idea is going to be to keep the glow, to keep the summer glow, but at the same time to create this very soft, effortless, youthful makeup look. So to make us look younger. I think that this is something that we all want. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I've already prepped my skin, and usually at the end of the summer and the beginning of the fall season, I usually like to switch my skincare a little bit. I usually like to use more steps in my skincare routine. So do whatever it takes to get the glow back in your skin. You might need to exfoliate your skin the night before if you want to create this more youthful glow, because if you exfoliate your skin on a regular basis, let's say a couple of times per week, your skin is going to have a more beautiful glow. And I always find that our skin needs a little bit more care during this time of the year, the early fall, because it is a transitioning season. Okay, so I'm starting with one of my favorite foundations for this time of the year. This is Numero 1 de Chanel foundation because it has some skincare benefits. You can use any foundation that you like. I have a few key products that I'm going to use here, but you can mix and match and use your own makeup products. The whole idea is just following the process and having fun with the products that you already have. I think that when we want to create this youthful makeup look, when we want to look younger with the help of makeup, it's very important to choose the foundation. Foundation is essential. So it has to be foundation that works for your skin type, and at the same time, foundation that is thin. And it all depends how much you want to cover. So if you have more pigmentation that you want to cover, then use a foundation that has medium coverage, so that you can apply a thin layer. Skin is always going to be your canvas. So in my opinion, when you want to create a youthful makeup look, unless your skin is very, very oily, I would suggest you to use foundation that is either a foundation that looks like skin or a glowy foundation, because you can see that immediately after I start applying the foundation, my skin gets even glowier than before. And this creates this youthfulness. If you make your whole complexion matte, this is what may age you. And when we talk about makeup that makes us look younger, usually you will probably be 30 years old and above 30 years old, because if you're 20 years old, you're young. So you don't need this kind of techniques. Whatever you use, it's going to look absolutely fabulous in your 20s. Another thing that's very important when you want to create this youthful makeup look is apply some kind of base on your eyelids. I usually use what's left from my foundation and I just brush it lightly onto my eyelids. But if you have oilier eyelids, you might want to use a dedicated eye primer or something that is going to cover any kind of creases or pigmentation, or some people have a little bit more pronounced and a little bit more visible veins and capillaries on their eyelids. So make sure to conceal that a little bit. So it's all going to be about adjusting this makeup look to yourself and to your needs. Next, I'm moving on to concealer, and for my concealer, I'm going to list all of the products that I'm using in the description box, but you absolutely don't need to use the same products. I'm going to be using the Sublimage concealer, which I have it and I want to use it up because it is quite expensive. Now, this is not a concealer that I'm going to repurchase, even though it looks very nice under the eyes. It wears beautifully during the day. And I asked you to share with me your opinion on this concealer. I wanted to gather as much information as possible from you, because that's how this helps me to assess the products a lot better. And some of you didn't like this concealer, but most of you happen to like this concealer. And I see a pattern here. Mostly people with mature skin love this concealer. So maybe it does something for people with mature skin. I can actually see that a little goes a long way. I did apply too much here, so I'm gonna have to literally remove it and take some time to blend it. But what I've noticed about this concealer is that it really lasts the whole day. It doesn't settle into my little fine lines here because I'm in my late 30s. I'm 37 years old, and my main concern is my under eye area. This is the place where I start to see some aging, fine lines, and when I don't sleep well, I start to see my age mostly shows up here. I find that when I don't sleep well and I use this concealer, it kind of lasts the whole day. So it makes sense, even though it's like it's very expensive. So you might use something that's a lot more affordable. I'm gonna brush my brows, and when we're talking about makeup that makes us look younger, you definitely need to keep your eyebrows as natural as possible. Now I have naturally big brows, so usually I'm going to just brush them. I'm going to fill them in only in the beginning, and then I'm going to use a setting gel just to keep them in place. But if you plucked your brows a lot and if your brows are thinner, make sure to use short strokes. And you don't have to be precise. I think that one of the makeup techniques that ages people a lot, we're talking about real life here. We're not talking about Instagram. We're not talking about camera, because I mentioned many times that Instagrammable photos and makeup that looks beautiful on photos, on camera, on Instagram, usually doesn't look good in real life, and vice versa. Here we are creating, and on this channel I only create makeup looks that are suitable for real life, not for Instagram, not for social media, for what you can wear in your office. Let's say if you're a lawyer, if you're an architect, if you're a doctor, this is makeup that you can wear safely in the office. This is the whole idea of my channel, creating more natural looks. So anyways, don't be too precise with your eyebrows. You are human, and this always looks a lot more youthful if your brows are not completely perfect. But make sure to fill them in. If you plug them a lot, use short strokes so that it looks as natural as possible. And don't completely, don't apply concealer right here, and don't make them absolutely perfect, because this is what ages you in real life. Again, this is just my vision. This is just my opinion of what looks good and what doesn't in real life. Next, first of all, I'm going to do my eyes, and after that I'm going to move on to my cheeks and lips, because I'm going to explain later why. But anyways, so for my eyes I'm going to choose a subtle eyeshadow palette, which is quite elegant. You can use it for every day. This is one of the new eyeshadow palettes from Clé de Peau. I really like the formulation of these eyeshadows, and I think that they are suitable for all ages. I think that this one in particular is very suitable for everyday looks. It's very office friendly, and it's suitable for all ages. It's an eyeshadow palette that you can safely use. And something that I like is that the colors blend very easily. Even if you're not a professional, you don't actually need any expertise and any experience to use this kind of eyeshadow palettes. The colors are already chosen for you. And this one is, I believe it's number, now these are refillable, so I'm not sure if this was, it's, let me go ahead and check. It's number 1. This one is Sand Dune. So this is how it comes, and then it just very easily clicks into place, so you don't need a pin, which is something that I love. And in all of the new Clé de Peau eyeshadow palettes, this eyeshadow here is a primer, which is a great advantage. I know that it's expensive, but for me personally, if I use an eyeshadow palette every single day, it pays off for me. So I like to use this color with my fingertip, and it gives me just the right base. It's not shimmery. Sometimes you can just use it on the go to conceal a little bit some capillaries on the eye, and if you don't have time for makeup, you just, apply some mascara and you're good to go. So I'm quickly going to apply this color with my finger. I love these eyeshadows, and they were created by one of my favorite makeup artists, who is now the creative director of Clé de Peau. I've mentioned him before. This is Benjamin Pocci. I love the way he does makeup. Now, something that I wanted to talk about is a lot of people, as they start to age, a lot of people start to use only matte eyeshadows. You could use only matte eyeshadows if that's what makes you happy. But I personally would choose something with a little bit of shimmer, not with glitter, but something that is a little bit shimmery, because it's going to catch the light, reflect it in a beautiful way. And if you already have some base on the eyelids, this is going to make you look younger. It's not going to make you look older. So this is the kind of eyeshadow that I like. Or another option is, I love Chanel's Tissé formula. So when you see Chanel Les Quatre Ombres Tissé, Tissé is a whole line from Chanel that is very suitable for mature eyelids, because all of the colors have a little bit of sheen, they don't have glitter, and it looks very beautiful. It's going to bring some life to the eyelids, but it's not going to make you look older. So I'm going to go ahead and use this color here, the palest shade. I am going to use it, just apply it in the inner corner of the eye and start dragging the color. You're going to see that this, if I was not talking and explaining, this look literally takes me less than 10 minutes from start to finish. It's taking me a little bit longer now because I like to explain, so you can see probably how subtle everything looks. And then with the same brush, just I'm going to be taking the second color and applying this one all over the eyelid and up to the crease. The formula is beautiful and you're allowed to make mistakes. With this formula, I think that these eyeshadows are a great investment from Clé de Peau. Okay, then I'm taking a crease brush, and I need actually a smaller crease brush. And then I'm going to be taking this color, the deepest color, and I'm just going to apply it right here on the outer part of my eye. So with the deeper color, when I take it, I always take it on the back of my hand just to make sure that I'm going to avoid fallout and I'm going to avoid applying too much color at once. So I'm just going to lightly dust this color right here. And this is going to be a very quick look. Now, if you have more hooded eyes, you can use the deeper shade and place it above your crease. This is going to help to lift the eye a little bit. And optically, it's going to minimize the crease. Okay, so now I'm just taking a clean brush and making sure that everything is well blended. And I usually don't like to have a dark color all over my eyelid, just right here, because it helps to keep the look a little bit more youthful. If you're in a hurry, you can absolutely skip my last step with the deeper shade. You can just apply one of these two colors as one and done eye colors, apply mascara, and this is going to be a beautiful makeup look, a very youthful, beautiful makeup look. I'm just taking it a step further today because I have the time. Other eyeshadow palettes that I would use for this kind of look, for look younger kind of makeup look, are going to be Tissé Rivoli from Chanel. Tissé Vendôme is one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes that can recreate this look, and that looks very nice, very beautiful, office friendly, and at the same time you can create also a fun look because it has also a more intense peachy shade. I actually probably have them here. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you. So this is Tissé Rivoli. This one is going to be more suitable for those of you who like more brown colors. Another option that I would recommend for this kind of look, look younger kind of makeup look, is going to be Tissé Vendôme from Chanel. It's a fun palette that has this like a bright, nice coral shade, more like an orangey shade, and it's a fun eyeshadow palette. It's very sophisticated. These two colors, the top two shades, are absolutely gorgeous one and done eye colors. Another one, if you prefer something that's going to be more pink, then I would suggest Tissé Camellia. This one is very sophisticated pink eyeshadow palette. Another one that I would recommend, initially, I'm thinking of Tom Ford Nude Dip. It's one of my all-time favorite eyeshadow palettes, and it's such a beautiful, beautiful eyeshadow palette. Also, the quantity, the amount of powders that you get are more in Tom Ford's, I think, double the amount of Chanel's eyeshadows, so you are going to use it for a lot of time. And Nude Dip is one of my all-time favorites. It's so nice, beautiful, sophisticated. And I'm going to actually have a video here so that you can see some swatches of my favorite neutral eyeshadow palettes, which I think are very suitable for this kind of everyday looks. Okay, now moving on to, I'm going to give my lashes a good curl, because when you curl your eyelashes, when you want to create a look that is going to make you look younger, make sure to curl your eyelashes, because it's going to make them look more visible, longer. Okay, now you can probably see that immediately after I curled my eyelashes, they immediately look much darker, much more visible. So I'm going to be using one of my favorite affordable mascaras. This is one that I use and I love just as much as I love my high-end mascaras. And this is by Maybelline. This is Lash Sensational Intense Black. This is the mascara that I'm going to be using today. And then I'm going to apply powder. Now I'm going to tell you why I waited so long to apply the powder in a minute. I'm not going to be applying a couple of coats of mascara. This time I'm just going to apply one coat of mascara. And I like to wiggle the brush just a little bit to make sure that all of my lashes are nice and separated. This is going to give me this very elegant makeup look on the lashes. It's elegant look of the lashes. This is the effect that I want, but if I wanted to have the dramatic lashes, I was just going to apply a second coat or a third coat. This mascara is great for that. And it is quite affordable. So if you want to save some money, mascara is a product that you have to change quite often. So I would recommend this one, because it doesn't matter how expensive your mascara is, you have to change it. It's not like eyeshadows, but it's one of the products that you have to change regularly. And I like this one because I think that out of all of the affordable mascaras that I've tried over the years, I go back to this one because it never irritates my eyes, and at the same time it gives me the same effect as my favorite high-end mascaras. Okay, and now is the time when I'm going to apply powder. I usually, when I create the more youthful makeup look, I'm usually going to wait a little bit. I'm going to apply my foundation, then I'm going to do my eyes, and after that I'm going to apply powder, because I don't want to use a lot of powder, and I find that if I wait a few minutes before applying my powder, it helps my foundation to really set into my skin. It somehow sinks better into my skin, and I don't get a cakey result. If you have the time and if you have the opportunity, just make sure to wait a few minutes, let's say a couple of minutes, between the foundation and the powder, because that's how your foundation is going to get absorbed by your skin, and the effect is going to be more flawless, specifically when you want to create the more youthful kind of makeup look. I'm using the Westman Atelier powder. I think that this one is perfect for mature skin because it has skincare benefits, which I see, especially let's say when my skin is a little bit irritated. I see the effects of this powder a lot. And I'm going to apply the powder only on the places where I need. Now, some people might not need powder at all. Let's say if you have dry skin, but usually a lot of people are going to need setting right here on the sides of the nose. You know best how your skin reacts with your foundation, and you know best where you need to apply powder and if you need to apply powder. I personally need, because it gives me a better, more airbrushed look. So this is where I apply powder, right here on the sides of my nose, on my chin, and here in the center, almost like between my eyebrows. This is the place where my skin kind of gets a little bit shiny. And this changes over the years. I remember that 5-6 years ago, even actually 2-3 years ago, I would apply powder all over my face and it would look absolutely fabulous because my skin was oilier back then. Now we are moving on to the lipstick. I usually prefer to use a bright lip color because it helps somehow to make the lips stand out, and usually it makes most of the people look younger. And since I don't have a lot of makeup on my eyes, I can afford to use a bright lipstick. So I'm usually going to go for a fuchsia color, a different kind of a fuchsia color, or a red color. I'm thinking I'm going to be using a red color now, but if you want to be a little bit more subtle, then you can go with a different shade of fuchsia. I'm not going to apply a lot. So I'm just going to tap the color onto my lips. Because I don't want to have this Hollywood red lip, but I want it to be a little bit more youthful, more effortless. Okay, now there are two reasons why I love and I prefer to use a statement lip color that is going to be darker, because when we age, our lips are usually normally going to shrink, and if you don't have a lip filler like with me, your lips are usually going to be quite small. And if you use a bright lipstick like this one, like a red or a bright fuchsia color, it is going to be quite easy to adjust the shape of your lips and make your lips in the shape that you want it to be. I like to tap the color all over my lips, and then I like to use a small lip brush. This is from a Chanel lip liner, but I always use this little lip brush on one end to enhance the shape of my lips. This lipstick is a soft matte lipstick, so it's going to last for a very long time, and this is something that I like. And next, this kind of statement lip always gives me a little bit more like a fall vibe, because we are making also a fall kind of makeup look. So I'm going to use a little bit of the same lip color. Whether it's going to be a fuchsia color or a red color, you can just use it to tap it a little bit on your cheeks. And that's how you have a blush. Super easy, quick, and you can reapply during the day. But if you use the same color, if you match your lips and your cheeks, a lot of people are afraid to use this kind of a bright lipstick on their cheeks, but it actually makes you look younger because it's like a pinch of color. It's like really creates the illusion that your lips, your cheeks have just been pinched. You are so young and you just were running outside. You're full of energy, and this is the kind of cheeks that a lot of young people have. Such young people full of energy and blood circulating in their face, and it's just creates this illusion. We can recreate it as we age. And here you're going to see exactly how much you need. You can go in directly with the lipstick, but I personally prefer to use my fingers because the effect is a little bit more subtle, especially with this kind of a red color. And it looks beautiful on so many different people. You know, have you seen, often you can see in the metro some old lady pulling out her lipstick, then applying lipstick on her lips and then tapping on her cheeks as well. It's like recreating this little gesture that our mothers, our grandmothers used to use. And then I'm going to use one more product that I love to use at the end of the summer months. This is optional. This is completely optional because this one is quite expensive. It's quite pricey. This is from Westman Atelier and it's the Super Loaded Tinted Highlight in Peau de Pêche. Now this, for a lot of people, it is going to be like a cheek color. It's going to give the cheeks and your face this kind of a bronzed look. I think that it's a good product. It all depends on you, but you can use it on the eyes, on the cheeks. Some people like to use it on the lips a little bit or on the cupid's bow. It all is going to depend on your skin tone, but I personally like to use it because it adds a little bit, a touch of color. It's this bronzy, nice bronzed color. Okay, so one thing that I have to mention, very important, if you have fair skin tone like me, you have to be careful with Peau de Pêche because especially when you layer it like I did. I layered it I mean, I already had blush from the lipstick and I wanted to layer it. So you have to be very, very light-handed, because this one is going to give you, if you have fair skin tone like me, this one is going to give you a nice bronzed glow. And if you apply too much, it's not going to look flattering most of the time. This one is mostly flattering on people who have medium skin tone, and it works on all skin tones, but if you're fair like me, you just have to be very light-handed. So a little goes a long way with this one. I like to use it, but this is going to be it. Now I'm not going to apply bronzer, because bronzer is usually going to give you this more sculpted look. And here I think that I have enough color, just enough, just the amount of color that I want. And I have, if you see, as I tilt my head, I have this very youthful glow on my cheeks, and my skin looks a little bit more plump, a little bit more youthful. Now, I want to use one more product that gives me this, helps to give this very healthy looking skin and very youthful skin. This is going to be the highlighter from Gucci. Now, this is irreplaceable in my opinion. This product in particular, absolutely irreplaceable if you want to create the youthful makeup look, because I know that some people think that this one is going to be dark, but it works on my skin tone. I think that it's going to work. It all depends how much you want to apply, and it helps to give you this healthy looking skin to my skin, to people who have my skin tone. It's not too dark. I don't apply a lot. I've had this for months, and you can see how much I've used. Well, it's a little bit lower like here, because I just took out the pipette, so it's until here. But you can see that a little goes a long way with this highlighter. I'm only going to use the tiniest drop here. I rub it between my fingers, and I'm going to just tap it here. It immediately brings a lot of life to the face and this bronzed glow. And you can apply this one during the day, just if you want to refresh your face. I sometimes put this one in my handbag, because when I'm outside and I want to instantly look a little bit like not younger, but instantly want to add a little bit of glow to my face, a little bit of life to my face, it helps a lot. And it's a very, very sophisticated highlight that doesn't look like a highlight. It doesn't have shimmery particles, but pure light. It somehow adds pure light to the face wherever it touches the face. And even if you have more, let's say, dull skin that lacks luminosity, this is a great product to just apply under your foundation, or a little bit on strategic points on top of your foundation. It all depends how your skin looks and what you need. And now, depending on how the lipstick looks, you can always decide to add a little bit more color on the cheeks. And I'm just going to go ahead and reapply the lipstick on the center of my lips, just make it a little bit more intense. And then something that I love here is that this look is going to hold on the whole day, and it's not going to move. The only product that I'm going to take in my handbag is going to be the lipstick, and from time to time I'm just going to reapply my lipstick on the lips and then tap a little bit on the cheeks if I feel like I need a little bit more color. But the whole makeup look is quite long lasting, it's quite fresh, youthful, and I like that it lasts the whole day because I did not apply a lot of makeup. I may apply just a little bit more right here in the center. I'm going to apply a little bit more of the lipstick for an even more youthful glow, but this is once I have the lipstick on. I think it's going to look nice. And then this kind of a bright color on the cheeks somehow always makes the skin a little bit more plump and makes the complexion a little bit more youthful. And last but not least, my fragrance of the day is going to be Tom Ford Lost Cherry. This is one of my all-time favorite perfumes. I think that it's very suitable for the fall season, the late summer and the fall season. It is quite long lasting, and it's a very youthful fragrance, I would say. It is warm, inviting, but in a very youthful way, a little bit rebellious, I would say. So it's one of my favorite perfumes for this time of the year. So this is going to be the finished look, my quick and easy youthful makeup look for the early fall season. I quite like this look. It makes me happy and it puts me in the mood for the fall season, but at the same time it somehow reminds me of the summer as well. Thank you so much for spending time with me and for watching my video, and until next time, bye!